we're going to look at using the written method for division, short division. So we have 462 divided by 2. The way we set this out is to write our first number inside a box, or some people like to call it a bus stop, and then our second number in front of it, just outside. So it looks like our numbers have switched around. We have 462, the number that we're starting with, divided by 2. Now what we're actually going to be doing is remembering that these are hundreds, tens and units, but not referring to them as hundreds, tens and units. So when we start this, unlike addition, subtraction and multiplication, we don't start with the units. We always start with this first digit. So if we think of this as being the bus stop, it's the first person in the queue. And we are dividing by 2. So we're thinking about counting in twos. We're thinking about our 2 times table. That's what this digit is telling us to do. Think about twos. So we've got 4 and we need to divide it by 2. So if we count in twos, how many twos do we get in 4? 2, 4. That would be 2. And we write it up here in our answer. This is where we will find our answer. Now we can see this is actually the hundreds column. So really what we've been doing there is thinking, how many twos are there in 400? And well, twos, we could count in twos, but that would take a long time. Dividing by 2 is also the same as halving. So half of 400 would be 200. But we don't need to think about that place value as we work it out. We don't need zeros. We don't need to struggle counting in twos to 400 because of our columns as we set it out. Okay, so 4 divided by 2 is 2, and that is just in our hundreds column. Quite similar to the way we use the place value in multiplying and subtracting and adding. So we move on to our next column, and it's our tens, but that doesn't really matter. We can just think of 6 divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3, because 2 3s are 6. Okay, so again what we've really done is 60 divided by 2 is 30, but we're just thinking about that digit, 6, it was 6 tens. And now finally we've reached our units, the end of our calculation, and we've got 2 divided by 2. How many 2's are there in 2? Well, it's just 1. So our answer is 231.